Hey, everybody. This is Miko with the Permit Empire, and I thank you so much for tuning into this video. I wanted to just drop this video. I am here at the office, and of course, I'm done for the day, just getting a few last minute things just kind of put together for tomorrow. But I just wanted to make this video, wanted to drop in real quick because I wanted to make this video and talk a little bit about how we are showing up in our business and just our business visibility. Now, if you have watched any of my other videos or any of my videos where I'm talking about marketing your services or anything of that nature, right? So I'm usually talking about the same thing. I'm usually telling you, hey, make sure you have the magnets on your car if you can. Of course, check with your insurance. I am talking about make sure you have a shirt with your business information on it, those kind of things, just things that make you stand out so that when someone sees you, they can see what it is you do right off. You don't even have to say anything. You want to make sure that you're visible to your ideal or your potential client. So, like I said, I talk about that a lot because for me, those are great ways that I have been able to acquire clients and actually keep clients for a long period of time. And in any business, for the most part, what you do want is you want repeat customers. That is generally what you want. It's nice to have that income that you know is probably going to come in because this client is going to bring more work to you, more things for you to do. So it's always good to have those type of clients. It's always good to acquire those type of clients, but first you need to attract them. And a lot of times you just at least want them to see you. You want to be able to, like, if you're out and about, you're handling your business, you're doing other things, it's good that they can see what it is you do by just seeing what's on your shirt, seeing those car magnets, those kind of things. That definitely helps out. But I wanted to get into this video and talk a little more about that. I wanted to talk about another way that recently I've acquired a new client. And it was by way of another client that I have. So we were having this conversation. I was having a conversation with the client, and via email, we're having this conversation or whatever. And they CC'd someone else in the conversation because it had something to do with them. They were another part of the, project. So they got CC'd into the conversation just so that they could, give me another piece of information, right? So later on, actually a couple days later, I got a phone call and I answered it, no problem, and I'm talking to this person and they said to me their name sounded familiar. They told me who they introduced themselves to me on this phone call, and the name sounded so familiar. So I was like, I'm thinking I know this person from somewhere who I'm talking to. And so she ended up saying the other contractor where she got my information from. She said that contractor. So once I heard her say my other client's name, that contractor, I went, oh, I remembered her from the email. She was pulled in from the email. So I went, okay. So she asked, okay, I see on your email signature, basically, she could see my other services listed on my email signature. So she asked, could I help her out with another project? Just because she could see my services from my email signature. Now, that's not something I think about very often. I did make it a point to make sure that my services are listed in my email signature. And also, once I changed my services at one point previously, I made sure that I also updated my email signature to save my current list of services that I provide. Now, no, it's nothing that's super fancy. It's basically my name, my logo, of course, my information, and it lists out a few of my services. So again, she noticed from that list that there was something that she could possibly need help with, and she urgently needed it. So I was able to handle that project. But she got my information just simply based off of the email signature. That was one way that she was able to see me. And she's provided me with a few different projects. And even with that, it's a little bit outside of permit running, but it's so closely related. And it was a great way for me to also pull in some extra cash, not only just make another client, but it's a client who is paying well for their services. So that's just definitely another way that we should be making sure that, hey, we're on top of how people see us, how we show up, those type of things. And that's just one good free way to do it, is make sure in your email signature, hey, everyone can see what it is you do, because you never know what service. And they desperately needed some help in that area. She was like, it's an emergency, can you do it today? It was that kind of situation, and I was able to assist them. And they had no problem with my prices, none of, and there's already a level of trust because she knew me from another client, from the other client. So there was already some level of trust. There wasn't that going back and forth. We weren't negotiating. She wasn't haggling. None of that stuff. She needed help. She saw that I could provide it just based off the list of services. And of course, again, there was that level of trust because she already knew that I was, doing work with this other client that she also does work with. So we definitely should be making sure that, yes, we are showing up in every aspect that we can, especially those free aspects. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything to update your email signature to make sure you have all of those services on there. Make sure you have, your contact information, even your social media. You could have some of that stuff as well there so that when someone, hey, clicks on it, they can pull right to your pages. They can actually see what it is you can do. They can have that sense of connection with you, because the great thing about, I'll say, even permit running, the great thing about it is because you're developing relationships with clients that will become repeat clients. A lot of times with contractors and investors, even realtors, they'll need your services multiple times. It's not just a one-time thing. They'll usually need you quite a few times, especially, like I said, with contractors, they need your services, over and over. And they'll also refer you to people. But one great way, of course, we know we want to make sure we're showing up. It's on our car magnets. We have our shirts with our services listed, those type of things. But yes, those small things, we shouldn't neglect it. We should definitely make sure, we're showing up there. And even with our social media should be up to date. It should show, for the most part, that we're still in business. It should show that we're still servicing clients, or that we're still operating inside of this business. Because a lot of times people will go to your social media page before they even go to your website. I don't even believe I have many visitors to my website. I haven't even visited my own website in quite some time. But I make sure that I am actively posting on social media. I'm making sure that you can see what it is I do. When you go to my pages, you can see what it is I do, because I know that is now where a lot of people, a lot of potential clients are meeting you. They're meeting you there for the first time. They're seeing what you're about on your social media, so you want to make sure you're even showing up there. You want to make sure that you are, you're active. You don't want to just leave that just kind of there, just kind of as an afterthought. No, that is a good way for you to have, potential clients see what it is that you do. It's always out there. They can see what you do. They can see if, hey, you're servicing the area that I need you in. And that's another thing, because I also get people who will ask me just based off social media, go, oh, okay, so I see you're at this certain building department. I see that you're in this certain area. Because if you've ever looked at any of my social media pages, like Instagram or Facebook, you can see that where I am, wherever I'm doing that service, I'll make sure, for the most part, I'm tagging that city or that building department, that area. I'm making sure that you can even tell where I am, what areas I service. You can see all of that without even having a conversation with me. Once you do have a conversation with me, sure, people will say, okay, I saw that you were in, Miami-Dade. So you service that area. Do you also service other areas? And then it'll definitely bring about that conversation even the more so. So you should definitely make sure, hey, this is an important part of your business. And in a lot of cases, even me in social media, sometimes like it's an effort. I have to make an actual effort to update, to post, to make sure I'm showing up there, because sometimes I'm busy. So it's like, okay, I'm running, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I don't always have the time to stop and, like I said, take the picture and tag where I'm at. But it is great. It's a great way of showing your client, hey, I'm active. And it's just a great way of letting them know, like, I'm knowledgeable about this particular service. I'm knowledgeable. They see that you're here. Okay, so you've worked with them before. Okay, so you've done this. Okay, so I see what you're doing. Okay, you're talking about it. Okay, you want to make sure that that's in the forefront. When people see you, they see your business. They can see exactly what it is you do without even having to have a conversation with you. You want to be as visible as possible to your potential clients. You want to be noticed. You want to make sure that, hey, when you see me, you can see what I do. And that's why I always go with, have your information on your shirt. And I understand too that that's not everyone's cup of tea. You don't always want to have on, like, this type of, polo shirt or whatever. And that's absolutely fine. But you should also consider even having a badge with your company information on it, just saying what it is you do, or saying, the name of your company, having some type of information there, because that is also a way, without even having to say anything, people can still see what it is you do. So it's always going to be a great way, to even just break the ice. That's just a great way to even break. That's a conversation starter right there alone. Sometimes, if someone can see your badge, they're actively trying to see, okay, what is it that you do? That'll start a conversation even right there alone. So it's like you want to make sure, like I said, even if, hey, the shirt, the polo shirt, the t-shirt, whatever, that might not be your cup of tea. You may have a more professional, maybe, more of a business, attire. That's what you choose to wear, and that's great. But make sure that there is still some way that your potential client can ID you, that they can see you. I notice myself, even when I'm doing permits, other permit runners do have their information a lot of times on their shirt. You're able to see what it is they do. And so you want to make sure that you're able to, no matter what it is you do, you want people to know what it is you do. You show up, you stand out. Hey, Nola Diamond. I really like that name. I don't know. I've seen you on others of my videos. I love that name. I don't know what it's from. I don't know where you came up with it from, but I love that name. And thank you for tuning in. But yeah, so you definitely want to make sure that, hey, if I'm in a crowd, especially like as being a notary, right? There's so many notaries. There's a lot of notaries to choose from. What makes you stand out? What makes you stand out in a crowd? What makes someone want to go for your services? What is it? You want to make sure that, hey, I'm visible. People can see what I do. I stand apart from them. Yes, my social media is up to date. You can see I'm active. And I believe, I'm going to say, just from even my experience, I've been in business for a few years, but just the fact that people can see you're active, they want to work with you. I was talking to an investor, and I'm not sure where he found me from originally. I'm not sure, but just in conversation, we end up, getting into the project, for a property in Broward County. So we got into this, agreement. So we're working on the project. We're getting all the, everything together, and everything went well. And after the fact, and we've had plenty of conversations. We've had to meet up or whatever a couple times. We've met up at the property as well. Just had a lot of conversations. But at the end of our business relationship, for the most part, well, the end of this project, he said to me, he's like, if you have any projects, he's like, because I see that you're so active, you got so many projects going. So if you have any projects that you want me to jump in with you, I'd be more than happy to jump in, and take on some of your projects as well. But that's because he already sees that I am working. And I even heard that from a realtor too. She was saying the same thing, a friend of mine. And she was like, nope, it's like you have to also show people, hey, I'm out there, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm working, I'm knowledgeable. Like, this is my area, all of that. So you want to make sure, hey, that people can see what it is you do. And like I said, it's just a lot of times they want to see that you're active. And so for me, again, that's why I make sure, like, I don't even take a picture of every stop I do. I don't. And in a lot of cases, I'm actually in office doing online permits, and there's really nothing to show so much. Sometimes I'll just show myself scanning documents, but there's not a whole lot to show. But just the fact that you can, hey, throughout the week, show I'm active, I'm doing something, I am manning this page, even if it's not you who's actively, doing all of the posts, just to have someone posting it for you, updating for you. Keep yourself as visible as possible. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I love it. I love that. And you're trying to get started in Texas. You know what the thing is in Texas too, there's a need for that service. I actually do quite a few consultations with other people in Texas. That service is needed in Texas. I don't even know what part of Texas you're from, but I can say it looks like so much of Texas has so much construction going on, even with people doing remodels, new construction. There's a lot going on there, and really, you really should take the time out. If you haven't, I don't know, but you should take the time out and visit your local building department. Like I said, again, I don't know what part you're in. Oh, Denton. Okay. you should visit your building department and have a conversation with them as to the certain documents that you're going to need when it comes to doing permits. Like, for the most part, it's a lot of it's the same for the most part, no matter where you go. Usually you need a permit application. That's your basis. That is the starting point for basically all permits that you're going to need. But you want to get yourself familiar with what's on that permit application, so that when you approach a contractor about helping him with that service, you'll at least kind of have an idea of what it is you're saying. Even if you don't know 100%, you'll still have an idea of what it is that you're looking to do. But, and again, even like with social media, I'm saying keep it, have a business page and update it. Have it updated to make sure you're showing the services that you provide. But even with that, you want to be able to reach out to some clients as well. You want to be able to reach out to contractors. Again, make sure, if you can, have a magnet on your car even when you visit the building department. I believe like that's a really great way, because I've met so many like contractors at the building department, even just picking up documents. Just picking up documents. I have met other contractors at the building department who needed the service. And especially if you have on, like I said, a badge or a shirt already with the services listed on it, people know who you are. Like, once they see that, okay, that's the service I need, like they'll stop and even talk to you. They'll actually approach you a lot of times. And that's why I usually tell everybody, if you're looking to do permit running, at least get a little bit familiar with the process first, so that when the contractor does talk to you, you kind of have an idea. You have an idea. Yes, and that's great. Yes, it would be great to go with your notary commission business. It really would be. And yes, this is something I was saying. I was on an interview recently. I don't know if you guys saw, with the Notary Institute with LaShawn Jenkins, and it kind of came up too about, is this something that can be done like part time or on the weekends? And let me say this, because this is a good time to get into it. With a lot of the building departments going online, taking on the online model, this is a good time to get involved with permitting, because it is something you can do even on the weekends. Because listen, hey, the building department is usually there Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. But with the online portals and the online systems that they have set up, that's 24 hours a day. It's 24 hours a day. Hey, Sabrina from Florida. Girl, that's Florida. That's Florida in the house. But yes, it's something that's available 24 hours a day. It's there. Even like on a Saturday, because I'm in the office on Saturdays. Usually I'm just getting ready for the next week. But if I have some extra permits that I want to go ahead and knock out, I'll go ahead and upload some permits. I'll go ahead and upload them and get them knocked out, get them done. And on Monday, when their business day starts, they go ahead and start processing everything. And even I do notice of commencements. I record them. And I know that's not needed in every state, so I don't usually talk too much about it. It's definitely needed in Florida on, a lot of construction projects. But on the weekends, I'm recording those because it takes 3 minutes. It doesn't even take 3 minutes. Let me go back on it. It takes like 2 minutes to record a notice of commencement, and it's something that can be done on the weekends. If you're at home on Thursday night, 7:30, you just ate dinner. You can go ahead and process notice of commencements or permits. You can go ahead and send them over, upload them, and apply for those permits. It is definitely something that you can do, on the weekends, something you can do around your schedule. Like, you should definitely utilize the fact that a lot of the building departments are now, with the online model. It's really helpful. I know initially when things went online, I wasn't too excited about it. They were going online before, but I was kind of like, I'm not so excited about how everything is going. But it's really a good thing. It's really, really super good, because you can do it, Tuesday morning, 5 o'clock before work. If you want to upload something and go, you can actually do it. Oh, hey, Tara, you from Florida too? I'm glad to see my Florida peoples here. I'm glad y'all tuned in for me tonight, because I didn't give much of a notice, but I'm glad that you guys all tuned in. Yes, and yes, definitely networking at the building department, that definitely would be good. You want to get out there, you want to be seen. You want to, and that's a big part of any business for the most part. If you can get out there and just be seen, you can have that people know that this is what you do. That's a big part about it, because even one time I was referred by one of the permit clerks to someone. She noticed that his permits kept getting rejected. And now I had been coming in, getting my permits are getting passed. My permits are going through well. And also I'm familiar with, the way they operate. So my permits were going through fine. So she had said to him, listen, you having all of these problems. You can talk. And we were in the building department together at this time too. So I could see her saying it. So I know it happened. She's like, hey, go and talk to her really quick, because you obviously don't have the time to do this, So she was able to even vouch for me, in the building department to a contractor. So you definitely want to get out there and talk to people, and people can refer you. And that's, people do refer you. It's not that they can. People do refer you. But definitely get out there, be as visible as possible. Let people see you. Let people see what you do. And even understand, like when you're just starting up, that you're not actively doing those things right now, but that doesn't mean that you can't post. This is a service that you are willing to provide. You're providing this service. Take a picture of the permit application and post it. Hey, I can help you with processing permits. Go ahead and do that. Just get as visible as possible and get in front of your ideal client. Get in front of them. Make sure that they can see you. Make sure that, like, I always go back to it. Make sure, if you can, have your shirt with your business information, or have a badge with your information. That's fine. Make sure you have those magnets. Even like I said, the email signature, something I don't really think much about, but I do make sure I have it updated. But just from that alone, I was able to get a new client just because they were able to see that this is something I could, provide services to them as well, with just being CC'd on an email. So, definitely make sure that you're out there. Make sure that people can see you. You want to be as visible as possible to, all around. And I've even had situations where a certain, person didn't need me, but they knew someone who did, and they were able to refer me to that person. So, I just wanted to just jump in here really quick. I didn't want to keep you guys too long. And my Facebook and Instagram, it's under The Permit Empire. And I think the Facebook is Miko Simpson, The Permit Empire. So yeah, you can check it out and see, like, get ideas if you want to, even from how I'm posting, but I'm trying to make sure I'm as visible as possible, because that's how my business continues. That's how I keep going, making sure that I'm as visible as possible. And of course, so, I know that's how business is. You got to stay out there. And in a lot of cases, sometimes we're so busy just with the actual activities in the business that, we may forget to just, even those small things, just forget those small things, that they have such a great impact. Like I said, make sure your email signature, just something as simple as that, make sure it has your services on there. Okay. All right. So again, I am not going to keep you guys too long. I want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to sit here and listen to what it is I have to say. And I appreciate you for interacting with me. And I'll definitely, if you have any questions, you have any comments, feel free to, leave them. I look forward to chit-chatting with you at another time. And you guys all have a good rest of your day. All right. I will talk to you soon.